Hello, welcome to another edition of the Hashtag Trenders podcast.
I'm your host, Stephen Covella.
And I'm Dave Espindle, who's also sort of talking.
This is Rambo.
And Desmond.
And we're back at it again, talking about some random topics this week. First off, today I woke up and forgot that it was daylight savings and left my house at 1:30 and couldn't believe how late it was until I got in my car and my car clock said 12:30, and then I realized that it was daylight savings and I totally had forgotten about it and not changed anything. Do you think because a lot of people don't wear watches and our phones do all the check for all the times and everything, daylight savings, it's like easy to forget that it happened?
Let me field that one, Dave. How did that make you feel, first of all?
It made me feel like a little bit happier that I didn't waste an hour that I thought I had just wasted before I left my house in the morning.
Well, that's amazing.
Well, but you would have at least done something in that hour. You literally did nothing in the hour that you lost.
Wait, did you though?
No, I'm just saying, like, I left my house and I
So
thought
like
it was
you felt
1:30
better
and it was
instead of like,
12:30.
oh, I just like lost track of time. You
Yeah.
just were like happy that you had zero time to begin with. You had negative time.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Des?
Oh, no, I panicked a little bit this morning. I thought I was running a little late to work.
Wait, why? What do you mean?
I don't know. I was like, normally,
Your phone literally tells you what time it
Sidebar.
is.
I get that.
You're from
but
Arizona.
Normally, I wake up early and it's like 7, 8, and then I saw the clock like 9:30. What the hell? I don't have time to bullshit.
Oh, you don't
I
set
normally
like
do.
an alarm clock?
No, I naturally wake up early. I'm like, there's no way it's 9:30.
Okay.
So that was an hour of bullshit, and I had it cut away.
Like Rambo said,
Thank you,
you're from Arizona, so I feel
I'm
like
from New Jersey.
well,
I went to school in Arizona.
I feel like you might have stronger feelings about daylight savings time than anyone else, or
I
maybe
have strong
you-
feelings
yeah.
about Arizona. They're retarded.
Why?
Everything about them is stupid. The fact that you go from mountain time to Pacific time half the year is stupid. They just don't want to follow everybody else in America.
Are they the only state that doesn't do daylight savings?
Only state that doesn't do that.
I think it's noble that they take a stand against.
How?
Is it
because
also
normalcy.
noble of them Arizona State not giving Obama an honorary degree, or
What does that have to do with daylight
Arizona-
savings time?
You said it's noble. I don't care. Also, them not voting for Martin Luther King. They always gotta be assholes and go
Wait,
against what everybody.
They didn't vote for Martin Luther
A
King.
Martin Luther King Day. They were the only state that was against having a Martin Luther King Day.
I don't see what this has to
I
do
thought
with
you were
Because
saying,
they're
like,
always
I thought you were
stupid.
the way that you started that made it sound like Martin Luther King was in an election.
I'm
and-
sure they hated Martin Luther King anyway. They hate everybody. But daylight savings, the fact that they don't change their clocks like the rest of the world, they always got to go against the rest of America. They're stupid.
Stupid.
Why do you think they choose to not do it?
Stupid.
What do you think the purpose is? I feel like we all should do it or we all shouldn't do it. Why would one state try to be difficult?
Well, if you thought of, to be honest, Dave, a long time ago, these 13 colonies decided to be difficult. Started a country. Think about it.
Do you guys know, like, the purpose of daylight savings is agriculture
for, like,
and
farmers,
stuff.
right?
For farmers to, like, get up earlier and have more time to till land. It seems a little antiquated, the entire idea now. It seems like we could kind of just roll without changing time.
Yeah, fuck farmers.
No, it's just like farmers can get up earlier and, like, they don't need... The way that our food is made now, it's not the same necessity for us to change time. so
Tell
that
us
they can
more
do
about how
it.
our food is made.
It's not made the same way it was when Benjamin Franklin thought that daylight savings would be
Go
a good
on.
idea.
Is that Monsanto's fault?
I'm not getting started on this train, but so much of our food is made in like greenhouses and laboratories and stuff with artificial light
Laboratory.
that it doesn't matter. It's not as big a factor as it was then. That's for sure.
That's true, but why change it now? It's been going on for so long.
Well,
It's a
then
part of who we
Arizona
are.
should just hop on board. Why doesn't Arizona hop
No,
on board?
I think we just shouldn't have daylight savings time at all.
Steven, I feel like you would be a great Arizona person.
Desmond just talked about how Arizonans are like racist, basically, and you just called me a great
he said
Arizonan
that they
in that
don't
like context.
He said they don't like any.
They don't.
But he put it
agree.
in the context of race.
But he said they don't like.
He went from
anything.
daylight savings time to they hate Obama and Martin Luther
Do you
King.
think Obama should get an honorary degree from Arizona?
Yeah,
State?
sure. Let's give him an honorary degree to wherever he wants.
Are you gonna say that if Desmond wasn't in the room? You sure?
Well, you know what? I'll say this with Desmond in the room.
Huh?
Why does Obama want to inaugurate to that trash university?
Oh.
But if you're gonna be the commencement speaker,
He did the
yes,
commencement.
while I was there.
What the hell,
And
man?
they said, well, you didn't achieve enough to get a degree from us. When you're
Oh,
the
that's
president
right.
of the United States,
You
didn't
better give
achieve
him a
enough.
degree if he goes and does the commencement speech.
And he was.
That's whack that he did it at Arizona State. What the hell? All they do is party. They don't actually study there.
You mad, UCLA?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I don't understand why he would choose to do the speech there if they supposedly weren't willing to give.
Was
him
he the
an
president
honorary
at that point?
Yes, he was.
What? It must have been a political thing.
It's 2009.
Maybe 2009 no, that was 2010 when Gabby Gifford got shot.
Yeah.
So now it didn't have to do with that. It must have been some like political thing. I don't know.
It's crazy. I don't know. That seems a little weird. Anyway, well, I just got back from Mexico, which, like Arizona, is a different culture.
Do do Mexicans observe daylight savings time?
Yes, I believe they do.
Despain did it again. Tell us more.
So I was in Mexico, which was a crazy trip because my brother was playing with a band called.
What's your brother's name? Plug his SoundCloud.
My brother's name is Jesse Gallagher, and his little band camp is called Mythological Records, so you can find it on Bandcamp. But he was in a band called Apollo Sunshine for a long time. They're really great. He does a lot of awesome music on his own, but he was there playing bass for a guy named...
Time out, I just forgot.
What?
I would like to take this moment talking about music to thank DJ, our resident musician, who came up with the beautiful intro song that you guys heard into this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, DJ. Check him out on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
DEZHAY.
Yes.
DJ.
That's true.
Back to Jesse Gallagher.
Yeah, so anyway, my brother Jesse, he'd been in a band for a while. He makes a lot of great music on his own. And he played bass for this guy named Willie Mason, who's an unbelievable songwriter. You should look him up. His album Carry On is really great. He's phenomenal. And he opened for Mumford & Sons. So I went to Mexico City and saw like 15 to 20,000 people watch my brother play music and sing because he was like a company singing for Willie. It's just 3 guys in the band. And then I saw Mumford & Sons. It was crazy. It was nuts to see like my own brother is so talented that like thousands of people that speak Spanish predominantly were clapping along and chanting like the name of the singer of the band, Willie, and they all speak Spanish. And it was just crazy to think like, wow, my brother's so talented and I can't play any instruments. So my thought is like, do your siblings have any talents that you just like sort of really wish that you had, and you see it and it's like amazing, but then you also are like, man, I wish I could do that. And my siblings are all talented. I come from a family with 6 kids, so
it's not
different.
just Jesse. Shout out to all of Dave's other siblings.
But Jesse is like, his ability with music far exceeds any of our talents in any other range. I mean, he's an A+ level musician and he can play tons of different instruments, and his musical ear is incredible. And I don't think I'm that good at anything. So it's impressive to see if you have a sibling that's that good at something. What do you think?
You're really
about
good at talking.
Fact.
A lot. Like
for volume.
Volume, yeah.
For volume.
You're a volume talker.
I'm a volume
You are like
talker.
the Carmelo Anthony of talking.
Yeah, that's what I said. I might put up 22 points, but I'm not going to tell you it's on 52 shots.
Yeah.
That's how I talk.
With 3 assists.
That's Jen.
So-
Okay, back on topic. What was the question?
What do you have? Your siblings have a talent that like amazes you, and maybe you wish you had? Because I know we're all from families with other brothers and sisters.
True.
What about you, Rambo?
Rambo. Well, Rambo is a sturdy 6 feet tall, 185. But Rambo's brother, a little taller, 6'3", 220. So I wish I had my brother's height and muscles to wear my tank tops and show off these.
What do we call Rambo's brother?
Talent?
Yeah, what's
I wish. Yeah, going to the gym's a talent and determination. His brother, Colonel Troutman.
Okay.
You're calling your brother Colonel Troutman.
Because
He wants guns like Colonel Troutman.
What I don't understand is, well, my brother is like incredibly fit too. I mean, he's pretty fit, but I don't like that. To me, I don't necessarily admire that. I admire his dedication to something like that, but I'm dedicated to stuff. I guess it's like the sheer talent that my brother has with music. My other brother is impressing me. What do you got, Des?
First of all, the fact that you admire him playing music, why? Music is not played on instruments. It's made on a computer nowadays.
I know. I should preface this.
No instruments in my music.
One time,
Why are you proud of that?
Desmond, I went and I told him to do a news art piece about Kurt Cobain, and he literally didn't understand. And the second or third time I was asking him to do it, he was like, "Who is this guy anyway?" He didn't know who Kurt Cobain was. I was like, "How do you not know who Kurt Cobain is?" And then he goes, "I'm black. We don't listen to music with instruments." That was his exact answer to that question.
So, what's your brother's talent?
Our brother has a great talent of not being around. He takes it's not in a negative way. Like
Mad of mystery.
he travels, he doesn't know how to sit still. So he's always on the go. For example, he's just got married. He's been with his girl for 8 years. Never spent his birthday with her. Actually, it's tomorrow. He is going to be home with her.
Yeah.
Even his fiance before that, never spent a birthday with her. 6 years. My brother's been to almost 100 countries. He's constantly on the go.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So,
How
never
can he-
being here. I don't know how he gets time off of work.
I was gonna say,
it's a great talent.
how can he afford to do all that?
Good job.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What about you,
Literally.
Covels?
Right
Right now, your brother is listening to this, thinking that you're an asshole.
He's probably not listening to this.
Isn't
Whoa.
your brother a cop?
Yeah.
Can he just kick the crap out of you?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
What's his measurables?
He's about
6'5", 280?
He's about my size. He's
And what is your size?
I think he's probably like about 5'9", maybe 145.
Wow, that's
Maybe
that's
a-
less than you. By a
Yeah,
lot.
that's what I'm. Not by a lot, but like.
How is he going to arrest somebody? Like 145
I mean, he's pretty.
though?
He's strong, but like I would just still. I'm a little bigger, and I'm his older brother. I'll beat his ass.
So
Strong. So you're saying you're going to beat up a cop?
he's not. Is he as ugly as you are?
Oh, that's harsh now. Come on now.
I'm just
Well,
asking. Like, is this a family thing, or are you an outlier?
Well, people tell us we both look a lot alike, so
So
I don't think we look a lot alike. But
so it's a family problem. So what I'm asking is, he has no qualities? that
no,
you
he does.
embrace?
I'm just not envious of his. I don't know, his skill set. I guess like
Does he have skills that do you have skills that he would be envious of?
probably not because he's not like interested in the same things as me
He doesn't like
necessarily.
basketball?
What?
He doesn't like basketball?
No, he doesn't like sports.
Wow. Okay.
He doesn't like.
Seriously.
He
I don't
doesn't-
understand that. I don't
No, my
understand
brother
that.
doesn't like sports at all. It's weird.
Does your brother like
Yeah,
sports?
he does. We watch football sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I mean, I don't know. I think we just have we have commonalities, but I think the areas that we excel in probably don't interest each other so much.
That makes cool. Well, Mexico was amazing, dude. Everyone was so nice. It makes me realize, like,
I'd like to say that my brother is really cool, and
are you worried he's gonna listen to this and think that you're a dick?
No, but like if he did listen to it, I don't want like he's gonna be the best cop of all time, basically. So
Wow.
Wow.
Do you think-
pressure.
Do you
though.
think T1000 has anything to say about that?
I think he has a lot to say about
Well,
it.
that guy was not a good cop. He was a cyborg from the future that turned to liquid metal and killed people. Like that is not a great cop.
Before he was defeated by the Governor. Shout out to him.
Anyway, so I think it was just really cool to see that in Mexico and how the crowd was amazing, like a lyrical songwriter, and they were so into it. And Mexican people I love Mexico. Every time I go there, when I come back, my body feels really beat up for about 4 or 5 days. Like it just is destroyed. But the city of Mexico City was amazing. I can't wait to go back. And flying domestically from Mexico was the best thing ever. Well, we just talked about T1000. I think we should get into Rambo's reels.
Rambo has got some reels for you.
All right, how many movies are we doing this
We're
week,
doing
Rambo?
3 D-spin.
All right, so explain to everyone what Rambo's reels is. real
Rambo's
quick.
reels is I give you the plot of a movie in very basic terms, and our group here of Steven, Desmond, and D-spin try to guess what the movie is. So far, Steven is a juggernaut, undefeated, two for two. Shout outs for him. Okay.
So I propose that you give. Oh, there's only one pen. That you give the paper You give Desmond and I also some paper, and we raise our hand when we think we know it, and you write down what you think it is.
Okay.
So that way, if you're wrong, like, you can't change your answer after you raise your hand, basically, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You want us to be committed.
Yeah. So you can't, like, raise your hand early and then, like, try to figure it out, kind of.
Okay, gotcha.
Which I, like, accidentally did once, but...
Oh!
But I got it wrong anyway when
We have Rolling Rocks? Who the fuck in our apartment bought Rolling Rocks?
Not me.
That's pretty trash.
So...
Shout out to the third roommate.
So let's continue.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
So, is our first Rainbow Reel?
It's true. This is for you three, all of you. All right, right on.
Raise a hand though.
Okay.
Okay, so this is 90s movie. So here we go. This young SWAT officer sees a bus explode. Okay, and so this young officer sees a bus explode, and he receives a call from a rogue bomb expert who tells him, D-spin. Give it to me.
No, I'm first.
No, keep going.
Go on.
So he sees a bus explode, and gets a call from a retired bomb squad expert gone bad. And he's wired a bus to explode if it goes under 50 miles an hour, okay? So this young SWAT guy has to get the people off the bus before it explodes. And he has to do it because there's a camera on him, and he can't do it or the bus is going to explode. Steven, your thoughts?
Okay, speed.
Okay, wow. I should have probably been a little bit more vague in my description, but that was correct.
I think we all
got
had
one
speed.
point on board.
speed.
We all
Okay, I
had
think-
speed.
Also, Keanu Reeves makes almost as many appearances as Stallone does in Rambo's Reels. Keanu has been in 4 Rambo's Reels. We've done
He's
8.
just so good.
He's just, okay.
So shout outs to Keanu. If you're listening, I'm your biggest fan.
All right. Number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so this new district attorney is trying to clean up the town, right? And Dave?
No, keep going.
Okay, so the new district attorney tries to clean up the town, and he arrests all the mob bosses, right? And so the mob bosses are sick and tired of being arrested, so they hire this rogue, maybe not all there, psychopath, Steven.
Keep
No,
going.
keep going.
Okay, I forgot. People are raising hands. So they hire the psychopath to, disrupt the district attorney and create chaos. But what that psychopath didn't expect is this, superhero with a heart of gold who tries to fight him off while saving the town and saving lives. Does anybody have any guesses?
Dave had the
Dave
first
first.
guess.
Dave,
It would be
give it to us.
Batman, The Dark Knight.
Bingo. That's correct. Dave, you're on the board.
Boom, 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 boom.
I need to start raising my hand.
I'm not the hero. I'm not the hero.
But you have to write it down when you raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
You guys
the
are
hero.
raising your hand, then you're writing
No,
it down.
no. I
That's
had mine
fair, but I don't
immediately.
have
I'm writing, yeah.
I had mine immediately. But as soon as he said a young district
And you
attorney
did this.
arrested
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right.
that was a legendary film. Not the hero we want, the hero Rambo needs.
Hot take. Third one's better.
Desmond, I want you to get on the board because you got Under Siege, and that was under the radar.
Well, he
last
didn't
week.
get under siege.
But he knew.
Got all of
let's
these
go.
right. I just
All right,
didn't
let's
raise
go.
my hand.
Number 3. It takes place in an apocalyptic wasteland where water is, a key resource that is missing. So humanity utterly decimated, and all these, people are just struggling to live. And there's these rebels that are on the run, specifically a lady rebel who is trying to fight for her freedom. And so on a mission away from the stronghold, she takes 4 captives and tries to fight for freedom. But she didn't expect this, anti-hero who doesn't say much, but accompanies her on her mission for freedom. And there's this, Desmond, I'm trying to help you out here.
I'm so lost, man. Just keep
Keep going. You're on a
Keep
train.
going.
You're on a train. Keep going.
And so now,
Or big rig, you might say.
Big Rig, thank you, Steven. So they try to, go
War
after
Rig.
her. War Rig, even. So this lady anti-hero and this man anti-hero just try to, destroy the warlord and fight for freedom and get water for everybody.
I wish the listeners could see Desmond's reaction to this. Desmond has no idea.
I have no
Actually,
idea.
I
You
think
don't?
I know.
Really?
No.
Desmond, give it to us.
No, I have it. I already
No,
have it.
you're on the board.
No, I wrote it down. I'm for the win. This is for the win.
All right.
Dustin is describing Mad Max
Okay,
Fury
first off,
Road.
I put Mad Max.
I told you.
Well, I put Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh.
I've never seen Mad Max.
Well, that's why you
Either.
got
What?
At least I got all 3 answers this time.
Yes.
I was
So-
just waiting to raise my hand.
You know what I was
Dustin,
thinking of?
Where's Rambo?
Rambo, what is the end result?
I guess
Steven wins.
For a 3rd week in a row. And still reigning champion of Rambo's Reels.
For the record, I would have picked on Desmond, but I'm gotta be fair. You raise your hand.
That was a very recent film. That one was tough.
I
Do you
will say
understand?
I was worried at first that I shot my wad and went with the newest movie, and Rambo was gonna go with one of the older.
The Mel Gibson versions.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, could be wrong here.
The thing I was thinking of was like Chronicles of Riddick, which I've seen like
That
one.
came to mind.
That
too.
was the only one that came to mind for me.
Vin Diesel.
Vin
Vin Diesel
Diesel.
classic.
Well, that was Rambo's Reels. A fun, eventful section. once again.
Desmond, next week I'm gonna cater the films to you.
Black
What
film.
does that mean?
I
Black
watched.
film.
Well, we're just gonna say.
Not like black films, but just like dead movies Desmond would like.
Well,
I've seen this collection.
Like what?
I've
last
seen your
week,
collection.
last week Desmond got mad because he was asking why white people don't watch white people don't watch black TV shows and black movies. So I watched The Wood. I didn't realize it was a late '90s movie. I started watching it. It was hilarious. Like, I really
It's a
thought it was good.
classic.
When it finished last night, I kind of was like, wait, there was actually not really a plot to that entire movie. Like, there was no real plot. It was just kind of like a screenshot of what high school was like in the late 80s for Inglewood.
Kind of like the Candyman.
But
So
it was,
it's kind of like Dazed and Confused, but for black people.
and of the late 80s. Yes. And it was awesome. And it was awesome.
Do you know what Dazed? Do you?
No.
You don't even know what Dazed and Confused is?
No.
That's okay.
Desmond. You know what I like about high school
Nice.
girls?
Love it.
They keep getting older, but I stay the same age. Damn it, I fucked it up. It's the other
That
way around.
he's an Academy Award winner, Dave. I think,
He
right?
is.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to Matthew McConaughey.
So, in the news this week, Seattle Seahawks have had a run for the past couple years, and Russell Wilson was dating Sierra, who is quite a fine-looking woman, and by all
Agreed.
accounts, a sex pod. And he decided,
And probably a really talented human being.
Yeah,
she got
that's
some
it.
songs. She can dance real good.
and so they decided to go for celibacy.
There's videos.
What, you don't like her?
No, you said talent, and so I'm kind of shaking my head. But Rambo's right. She can dance pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
So anyway, they decided to be celibate for.
Lies.
Oh, they
Yeah.
said that. They
Lies.
said that.
Do you? Well, that's the first part. Do you believe that they were not having sex last year? Because
Have you seen
was-
Sierra?
yeah,
Could you? There's no way you can look at that or wake up next to that every day, watch her come out the shower, and not just jump on that.
well, clearly Russell's dedication to things are more than the normal mortal human being, because he has been pretty dedicated to his craft to be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback at only
Super Bowl winner.
5'10".
Super Bowl winner and Super
He's
Bowl
pretty,
runner-up.
pretty
Does
legendary.
not compare to sex. I'm sorry. You can play a sport, be dedicated. Sex is just natural. Like, you can't control that. You tell me you don't have days where you're just horny and want to jump on somebody?
Would you take 3 years of no sex to be a Pro Bowl quarterback?
No, I don't give a fuck about football.
Would you take 3 years of no sex to be an NBA All-Star?
No.
Desmond, you can't shake your head like you're giving him a cheat. You
But
would.
no, the answer's
Obvious
no.
answer.
I absolutely would.
Yeah.
My answer to both of those is yes.
Dave, you would break because, like Des said, it's natural.
D-Spin,
It's
I'm with
natural.
you. To be an all-star, that's
But
in the
if
record
you-
books.
So, but
forever.
if you know the moment you have sex, you're out of the league. Would you? How long do you think you could hold it? That's probably a better
Yeah,
question.
think-
That's a better question.
But think about
you're
this,
you're an
though.
all-star in your favorite sport, but the minute you have sex, you lose all of your skills. How long can you hold it?
Honestly, I don't know how long, but I'm going to break. Think about this. All-star camps for rookies, they're not allowed to have girls. They break that rule every time. That jeopardizes their career. They're willing to sacrifice their career to have sex.
Yeah, I just think that I could be the bigger man.
D-Spin, there's this young champion all-star by the name of AC Green. You
Yeah.
probably believe that as well. And he's a champion of the record book. That's for life.
Yeah, wasn't he like the consecutive games record holder for the NBA, AC Green?
something like that. But he's a winner.
So Dustin, would you give up 3 years of 3 years of sex to be an NFL Pro Bowler?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you just hit the gym a lot. Sure, why not?
See, that's so rational. He's just gonna take out his sexual fury on a couple barbells. Do you have? How long do you think you could make it celibate if it meant that you could be an all-star in your favorite sport?
Like you said, 3 years is good. That's a good number right there. 3 years. I mean, that's pretty good.
I feel like I could make it 3+ years. I might get addicted to the limelight of being a Pro Bowler.
Oh, I love attention.
I might just never have sex again and be an all-star forever.
Could you imagine how many girls are going to throw themselves at you?
Yeah, that happens to me on the reg anyway.
No.
Who can turn down that beard?
I know. Who can turn down this grizzly beard?
And those other glasses.
You'll break. You'll break before training camp.
I think that I could definitely do it. But I do think there was a negative impact on Russell Wilson's play last year. And that's why I think that they weren't doing it. I think the whole beginning of the season, he was terrible. They weren't doing it. And eventually they broke, and he had a better second half of the season because they started doing it on the slide.
Or maybe they were, and he was trying to keep it a secret. So the anxiety of trying to keep that secret was killing him inside and eating away at the rest of his brain power to focus on being a good quarterback.
Well, he probably should have been sending a playbook against the Panthers. He could have been in the Super Bowl.
All right. So, do you think that not having sex as an athlete impacts your play? And do you believe Russell?
I believe it does impact your play, and Russell's a liar. I just think they had a bad start to the season, and it wasn't just Russell, it was the whole team.
Defense, too.
Everyone played horrible the first half of that season.
Super Bowl hangover, Desmond. They just lost the Super Bowl. That's not good.
But yeah, not having sex, sorry, you got to clear your mind.
I could do it. All right,
You're a liar.
Let's move along. Do we have a Steven's Traffic Corner? Are we ready and prepared?
Yeah, so cue the music.
And scene.
I kind of like shared left-hand turn lanes instead of green light, red light, left-hand turn lanes.
You're saying half sentences, but it's hard for me to understand. Wait, so go again?
So you know how you get to an intersection,
Uh-huh.
and in LA they almost exclusively have
that is weird.
shared left-hand turn lanes, or not shared, unprotected left-hand turn lanes, I should say.
Meaning
There's not a light that says turn left.
you
It's just a
have to
green
go.
light.
Yeah.
You just creep out into the intersection.
Yeah.
Kind of like those.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
It holds up traffic.
It really does, though.
But also it allows you to go when there's not oncoming traffic, whereas a green light, red light situation forces you to stop there and just contemplate existence while you're not looking at any traffic coming the other way, and you could just be turning left.
But then if you're making a left and you cannot make your left, you're just holding up everybody that's in that same lane as you.
You're not holding people up. The flow of traffic is holding everyone up.
Well, you're talking about like LA where there's always a flow of traffic.
Okay.
You're never going to go.
But
That's
there's
why it
here in
takes
San
40
Diego they have those too, and I like them here in San
Hardly.
Diego.
There's not that many of them. But in LA,
but there
it
are
takes
some.
you 40 minutes to go 2 miles because it's dumb shit like that, Steven. Sorry. To get
There's actually some
okay.
lights that have both, Desmond, so that works out for everybody.
Yeah.
So they're protected, and then also when it's green, you can go in the intersection, take a left. Those are the best lights.
I agree. Those are awesome.
So your traffic section today was that you enjoy unprotected left-hand turn lanes.
Yeah.
This is a very pleasant and lower key traffic corner from Steven. Thank you for your thoughts. I guess the last thing we should probably talk about was the most trending topic in the world this week, or at least in the United States, and that was the craziness at the Trump rallies, especially in Chicago. Steven, you brought up a good point when we talked about this. You didn't even understand why he was holding a rally in Chicago. You just thought it was like going into enemy territory, as if he almost wanted this to happen.
I thought that was Desmond.
Well,
wasn't
no,
me.
you were the one who said it. Like, why would his campaign choose to hold it there?
Sure.
Are you just out now?
Elaborate.
I guess like going to a college in the middle of Chicago is probably not the most friendly confines for Donald Trump's ideology.
What do you think this means for, regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, how do you think this means the rest of the world views this? Because I feel like there's lots of countries that have riots over their presidential candidates. I mean, it's very common in the Middle East.
And
There's
in
like
Europe,
riots
too.
and fighting
There's
in Europe.
a problem when you're comparing the Middle East, democracy in the Middle East, which just like gained democracy in most places in the last like
it
5 or
happens
6
in Europe
years.
too, though. In Europe,
To United States, which
Spain.
was
Spain has a huge problem with it, and the Ukrainian parliament they get into fights all the time. They get
Those are
fist
funny.
fights. They get into hilarious fist fights in the middle of the Ukrainian parliament, and one of their dudes is a Klitschko.
But Spain, the two things you cited, Spain and Ukraine, have huge portions of their populations that want to secede.
Yeah, I agree.
Catalonia wants to secede from the rest of Spain.
Yeah.
And Ukraine got taken over by Russia.
And they have a huge
and
Crimea
half of their
issue.
country, they had a civil war last year.
Yeah.
So,
half,
not a great comparison to American politics, which are supposed to be much more civil.
Unified.
Maybe not dignified, but civil.
So, what do you think the world feels like we're falling apart? I talked to someone recently who is in the military, stationed overseas, and she was telling me that it almost felt like a good time to be stationed overseas because it just, from what she was looking out, the local media where she was in Europe, felt like the United States was in chaos. And this was before the Trump rally happened. I sort of feel like the rest of the world just paints us as like maybe that we just don't know how to have civil discourse anymore. I mean, the riot just was all over the place, man. I mean, every news station, everywhere, it just seemed like very chaotic. What do you think, Des? Do you think it was a worthwhile political tactic, or do you think it's just something that makes us look negative?
We
as a
look
culture?
negative. I just think everybody's looking down at this election, looking at our candidates, looking at the way they're all acting. I mean, even we're looking at each other like, what the hell are they talking about? Instead of answering any questions, all they want to do is fight, throw shade at each other. It's unhealthy for the country.
To be fair, in the interest of equal reporting or avoiding false equivalence, most of the sniping that you're talking about is coming from the Republican Party.
It goes both ways, though. There's times that Hillary will avoid the question, where was Bernie at? Answer the question, Hillary.
but it's a false equivalence to say that both sides are acting in the same way when Marco Rubio is saying that Donald Trump has a small penis and Hillary Clinton's saying that Bernie Sanders just talks about one issue.
And wasn't there for healthcare reform.
Yeah,
You're
those
right.
are different
But
things.
who are we seeing more? We're seeing the Republicans, and they're making us look bad. But it is going on both sides a little bit, but not as much.
I agree that Republicans are probably the ones that, to Dave's point, that the world is like getting more exposed to, which is making America look worse. But I don't know. It's hard to speak to what the rest of the world is thinking about.
Do you think that the media is having a negative impact on the race because when riots happen, or riots, like violence happens that cancels a Donald Trump protest, it is such a huge deal and covered everywhere. And those penis jokes get listicles and they trend and they go everywhere and get it.
So here, to answer two parts to your question. The first part about violence at political rallies in the United States, that's not the media's fault if they cover that because it's the media's job to cover that. But, whereas like maybe a Rubio joke, might not be the media's job, like the New York Times or CNN. CNN's not a great example in recent years, but outlets are supposed to be a little more dignified to be covering that kind of stuff, at least as much, maybe mention it.
Yep.
But what you're saying, like listicles and stuff like that, that's like a product of new media. And I think what's happening now is almost like a manifestation or totally symbolic of just where discourse is going on the internet and in the age of social media.
140 characters or less, 10-second
Soundbite.
videos
and
or less.
and the nichification of news and media has put people in. They've allowed people to isolate themselves in these corners where they only are exposed to groupthink that they support. So it becomes an echo chamber. They only get news from people who are either giving news to them the way they want it or telling them what they want to hear. They're just telling people what they want to hear, and people isolate themselves in those echo chambers. So what happens is discourse no longer exists because it's just people who only exist in these echo chambers that where the way the world works is what
they want it
to be.
Yeah, and I think
so when they go outside of those echo chambers into reality, all these people from all these different niches are coming out, and there's no discourse because the world only exists in the way that it does in their niches.
That might help with the perspective, because if someone overseas wants to perceive something according to the way that they shelter themselves, like you said, then they can choose to perceive however. But there is an interesting thing that I want to say. In the late 70s, there's a really famous Walter Cronkite quote that's basically after the presidential election. He's like, I apologize because every year we say we're going to stick to the issues and like honestly give you coverage of a campaign based on the issues, and every year we get sucked into the process that the issues get sent to the back. And I think that's been something that's been happening for 40 plus years, that like
it has
people
to be,
who love or hate someone,
what
a
it
lot
comes
of the times
down
you'll be
to,
like, how do they feel on this issue? And people won't know.
So what
It's
it
just
comes down
perceived.
to is it's all comes down to money, because it's which outlets have the capital and the will to disregard the filthiness of the politics and just say we're only going to cover the issues. You probably don't follow the sites that do that, because you follow the sites that are talking about everything and all the bullshit and all the reality TV bullshit, because
that's why they talk
that's
about it,
the
'cause they
easiest
keep
thing to
making
consume.
money.
It's easy to consume that. If you can relate to that, because it's like watching reality TV.
It's super easy.
And so like it comes down to, as a news outlet, are you willing to sacrifice ratings, clicks, and ultimately ad revenue to cover substantive issues? And most people,
they're not.
I think maybe some will try to strike a balance, but most people are not willing to do that.
I agree. And there it lies. Well, I think we're done.
That's been Steven's Traffic Corner.
Steven's Traffic Corner and Donald Trump.
Thank you, Steven.
Anything else you want to say, Rams?
Dave, I really hope you enjoyed your Mexico trip. I've been to Mexico City last year. Amazing town. So much history. We should go back, you and I. Podcast on it.
We should make a video if we ever go back.
You better bet.
Steven, you got any last words?
I'm worried for you if you ever go back to Mexico, because you're so gringo. You are still trying to recover from the food you ate there.
It does go through me. For a couple days after I get back, it goes right through me. Des, you got anything last to say?
You want to come with us on our trip?
No, I'm hoping you guys go and don't come back.
Whoa.
Oof, wow. That's some mean. This has been Hashtag Trending, or we're the Hashtag Trenders, so check us out, hashtagtrending.com, at Hashtag Trenders, all sorts of other stuff, videos, podcasts, writing, we got it all.
What's a question we can have for the people to answer on Twitter?
We can ask them...
What's a question we had? What's I don't know.
What they would be willing to give up 3 years of sex to do.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great question.
That's a good one.
Professional ballerina. You know, what do you want to do?
Hit us up at Hashtag Trenders with your answer.
Yeah. What would you give up sex for 3 years to do?
All right.
Okay.
Sign out time.
There we go.
DJ, take us out.
That's D-Spin, Desmond, Steven, and Rambo.
Rambo.